The playoffs are here, and you can predict the action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. Predict the spread, the total points, and even the game-winning moments that make the playoffs. Sign up and get a $25 bonus with FanDuel Predicts.
Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18-plus bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with their consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms.
Spent time with Bruce a couple nights ago. I was playing injured. People don't know. Teeth were killing me. Couldn't eat. Didn't matter. We had a great symposium with Erin Molan and me and Bruce Pearl and the actor and singer James Maslow and Rabbi Mark Wild. And we all got awards later on that night. And Bruce is an amazing speaker. I say this last year at JNS in Jerusalem, which I'm going back to this year. The last block. 3 days, right? They start with BB. They have days and days of speakers. But they save the big guns for the last block. Mike Huckabee, Mark Levin, Sid, Bruce. I really thought Bruce had the best speech, the best one in Jerusalem last year. He was tremendous on stage at the Manhattan Jewish Experience on Wednesday night, too. Great coach, but even a better friend. Good morning, Bruce. How are you?
Sid, I am terrific. This is Sid and Friends, and I don't know what brought us together, brother, but I'm not sure who your mother, your father is, but I think somehow we're related.
I'll tell you how we got together. I'll be honest. I saw you rapping tefillin before a college basketball game. I said, look at this guy. I mean, I'm a big sports guy. I'm aware of all your success and the great coach, but I didn't know you. I'm like, look at this guy. The world hates Israel. This was after the war obviously started in 2023. And it didn't matter. Kentucky, any big game, LSU. There's Bruce Pearl rapping tefillin. So I reached out to a kid named Zach Gelb. I know his dad, Bob Gelb, very well from our days together at WFAN. And Zach said, I just had Bruce on. He said, can you possibly make some type of shidduch between me and Bruce? Because I think I love this guy. And he sent me your number. I texted you. And to my surprise, you texted me right back. You're on my show the next morning, and the love affair has blossomed ever since.
Well, I grew up as a kid wanting to get bar mitzvahed so that I could go with my papa in the morning and rap tefillin at the morning service.
Wow.
And, it was very, very special. My papa died about 5 months after I was bar mitzvahed.
Sorry.
But we got a chance to do that. And, it's always, it's an incredible blessing. And it just, it reminds us of who we are. And listen, it is so okay to be proud to be an American, a patriot, and a Jew. And I live it, and I own it, and I'm just grateful for it. And I'm grateful that I could do it right here in this country.
I'll tell you, though, there's a story that surfaced this week. I was in Rockland County last Friday. I saw the president. He was very sweet, as always, to me. And Jackson Dart, the quarterback of the Giants, introduced President Trump. And it turned into a huge problem where the quarterback, the coach, had to address the team on Wednesday. In the meantime, the biggest troublemaker, Abdul Carter, didn't go to the meeting. Shows you what a coward he is. But either way, it became a big issue, and it's still a big issue for Jackson Dart, because he publicly supported President Trump. And you did the same thing with something equally as I guess, critical, people getting very, very upset with Israel, controversial, by publicly supporting Israel. And you had to deal with your players and people in Alabama and the school and the press. It didn't stop Jackson Dart. It didn't stop you. How ugly did it get for you?
The ugliest thing, Sid, that happened to me was during the last election with Vice President Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. I publicly supported the president for a number of reasons. I'm conservative. I'm a capitalist. I believe he did a great job the first time and has done an amazing job the second time. And I was really proud of our country for electing an African-American president twice in Barack Obama, because I'm a basketball coach. 90% of my players are African-American men. I'm constantly looking for role models and examples for them about why they can be great in spite of the racism and some of the obstacles. I don't want to have excuses. This is the greatest country in the world. You can be anything you want. Barack Obama is an example of that. And for the same reason, I was proud that our country nominated, even though it was crazy the way they did it, an African-American woman to be the president of our country. I just thought she was a failed candidate. I thought she could take our country in the wrong direction. And I publicly came out and supported Donald Trump. There were articles in the CNN and USA Today. Why would an African-American man ever go play for this basketball coach? Because he's a racist. Just because I supported Trump over Kamala, maybe a racist. Of course, nothing could be farther from the truth. As far as Israel in the South, let me tell you something, brother. In the South, Israel still commands support. We are losing support with our younger Christian friends because of that replacement theology being taught. But I tell you, in the South, and in the Republican Party in the South, support for Israel is still very strong.
Oh, it's so good to hear that, because I have to imagine that where you live in Alabama, not a huge Jewish community, right, Bruce?
No, not a huge community, but a huge Christian community. A Christian community that embraces the Jewish roots of their Christian faith. You go to church in the South, and about a third of their service is from the Old Testament. And they recognize that every disciple that wrote the New Testament was Jewish.
That's right.
And died horrific deaths to bring Christianity to the world. Don't say thank you, but stop hating us.
But you would think, and Jesus Christ, of course, was Jewish. You think right there that would stop all of the hate, but it's not. It's not stopping it.
The two most popular Jews in Alabama,
right?
Me and Jesus.
You and Jesus. How about that, Bruce Pearl and Jesus Christ? So talking about politics and President Trump, you were really considering, and I thought you were going to do it, running for that Tommy Tuberville seat. Tommy, another great Auburn coach. He was the football coach. He won. He was the senator in your state. And he said, okay, I'm going to be governor. Now we all know, of course, that he is on his way to being governor. Tommy Tuberville, he's a Republican candidate in the state of Alabama coming up in November. And you really were seriously considering running for that vacant Tuberville seat in Congress in Alabama, to the point, I'm going to admit this on air, I'm sorry, Bruce, you called me. I was so honored. I really was. I was so honored that you called me for my opinion early on in your decision-making process, and I told you to do it. I said, look, you've got nothing else to prove in college basketball. You're already one of the all-time greats, Final Fours and huge wins over big schools. You should do it. And I thought you were, but you didn't. And why was that the case again?
Well, Sid, I think it's very much the case of why you are considering, a run for the mayor of New York. You would be an unbelievable mayor. You know that you would love everybody in the city, and because you love this city, and you would pour your heart and soul into it. At the same time, it would be a tremendous sacrifice for your family and the risks that are associated with it. And the question you and I talked about is the same one that I would talk to you about. Okay, if you were to be the mayor, while you could do an amazing job, look at the platform you have right now and look at the difference that you're currently able to make in the lives of New Yorkers by providing with the news and information on this number one radio show. You are still making an incredible impact, and that was sort of what you and I talked about. And one of the reasons why I decided not to run for Senate is, look, there are 100 votes in the United States Senate. The Republican Alabama vote will be MAGA. It'll be conservative. It'll be faith. It'll be family. It'll be pro-Israel. And those are the issues that matter most to me. And so I said, you know what? My vote's not going to matter in the United States Senate, but my voice still does. And so that's why now I am no longer coaching basketball, but I'm involved in coaching America and coaching Christians to embrace the Jewish roots of their Christian faith, and coaching Jewish people to embrace their Jewish life. Because listen, Sid, God's our only hope. At the end of the day, if we would simply go about, what would God have me do today? If that's what we would do, every one of us, we would have peace and we would have prosperity.
Yeah.
But that's not the case right now in the world, and that is what I'm going to teach.
And your son, it's still close to basketball because your beautiful boy, Steven, he's coaching the same team you coached, and another championship came your way. You've got a bunch of SEC championships and Final Four appearances, Bruce, and your son, Steven, year number 1, wins the NIT championship. So you may not be coaching, but it doesn't get any closer when your boy is out there coaching and enjoyed great success in year number 1.
Sid, how about this? In the last 9 years, 6 Auburn basketball teams have won a championship.
Wow.
6 different teams. SEC tournament, SEC regular season, or this year when Steven won the NIT championship. I was so proud of him for keeping that team together. New Jersey's own Tahad Pettiford played phenomenal in March. And I know it wasn't the NCAA tournament, but the end of the season, there were 6 teams that were still playing college basketball. The 4 teams that were at the Final Four, and Tulsa and Auburn in Indianapolis playing for an NIT championship. And, of course, growing up in Boston and being on the Big East for so many years, I knew how important that tournament was. I know what it always had meant. And so it was a great ending. And I'm very proud of Steve. He's doing a tremendous job.
Really is. 2 more will let you run. I know you're going to march on Sunday at the Israeli Day Parade. So am I. I do it every year. So do you. I bumped into you actually last year afterwards at the Fifth Avenue Synagogue before their big conference. I guess they're doing it this year at Park East, not Fifth Avenue. But regardless, you'll be marching on Sunday. The big story in New York today is that the mayor has decided not to. Now, you heard what I said Wednesday night. I don't want him to. Why would I want somebody who outwardly hates the Jewish people marching with us? Now, he contends it's not the Jewish people, it's the Israeli government. Well, that's nonsense. This parade on Sunday is going to be packed with New Yorkers, the people that he claims to love, right? I love every New Yorker. I'm here for every New Yorker, Jewish or not. Well, that's who's marching on Sunday. I'm not asking Mamdani, this lying prick, to go to Tel Aviv and march, okay? I'm not asking Mamdani to go to Jerusalem and march. It's Fifth Avenue. It's New York City. It's his city. But he's been exposed. You see, eventually, if you talk to an anti-Semite long enough, they'll tell you I'm not anti-Semitic, I'm just anti-Zionist. They'll tell you they love the Jews. Eventually they're exposed. Again, if this was in Jerusalem, I get it, Mayor Mamdani, but how do you not go in a city where you won that has this many Jews? How do you explain that?
There is no explanation for it other than the fact that he hates Jews, he hates Israel. Will he march in the St. Patrick's Day parade?
He did. He already did. He walked right. Actually, he did. He walked right past me at the St. Patrick's Day parade.
He'll be at the Pride Parade. He will be at all the other parades for everybody else in the city except his Jews. And so it is. But you know what? At least he's told us exactly who he is. And the one thing that we can't allow is for them to separate the difference between anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism. There is absolutely no difference. We may not love everything that Vladimir Putin is doing in Russia and Ukraine. In fact, we are all opposed to it. But that doesn't give us the right to drive a truck through a Russian restaurant. There's no consistency except the consistency of anti-Semitism. And it's unfortunate because, unfortunately, our leaders, people will listen to them. And it all goes back to this. If there were a Palestinian state, there would be no Jews allowed because a Jew would be put to death by simply walking the streets of a Palestinian state. And yet in the state of Israel, there are 2 million Arabs and Muslims living their best lives as citizens, as members of the court, as members of the Knesset. 50% of the healthcare workers in the state of Israel are Muslim. When you walk down the streets of Tel Aviv, about 1 in every 4 persons look like they're Arab. You know why? Because they're Arab. So stop with the apartheid. Stop with the genocide. Stop with the bullshit. It is lies and propaganda. And that's why, Sid, when things calm down, people are going to go back to Israel, go back and visit, and simply see for themselves. Don't take your word for it. Don't take my word for it.
I can't wait to go back in 2 weeks. Finally, I'd be remiss. You are a great basketball coach. I don't care if you're coaching Saturday afternoon in Kentucky or a lot of your buddies like Rick Pitino who Of course, great college basketball coach, coached the Knicks. John Calipari also coached in the NBA. So many great college basketball coaches gave it a shot at the NBA level, and you're a big basketball guy. Knickerbockers, in all likelihood, will take on Oklahoma City only because the home team has won every game in that Western Conference Finals series. San Antonio forcing a Game 7, which will be played tomorrow night. Thunder, reigning champs, and the Knicks don't match up well. They got beat up by Oklahoma City during the regular season. The Knicks did beat the Spurs during the regular season, but regardless of who comes out of the West, what do you think the Knicks' chances are of winning the NBA championship this year?
Sid, they got a shot because they've got a couple things. They've got chemistry. They've got toughness. They've got tremendous size. They've got physicality and the ability to defend. They're a better team now than they were when they played OKC. And I think that the way Coach Brown is utilizing Karl Anthony Towns as a weapon both inside and outside, the elite defense of OG and Mikal Bridges. And then Brunson, he's just a baller. The ball is in his hands late in the game. He's going to go get a bucket. He's going to go make a play. Josh Hart, just a winner. I don't know. What's the deal with Robinson? What's the deal with the broken pinky?
I think he's out. I think he's going to be out, yeah. Yeah, he's done. Yeah.
Well, a little bit of rim protection and a little bit of physicality. But, no, look, the Knicks got a fighting chance, and I do think this could be a series of adjustments. Madison Square Garden is the toughest place to play in basketball right now. All right, so the Knicks they've got to find a way to go win Game 1. Right now, they got to go win Game 1 because OKC, while they're incredibly deep, they're going to be tired and they're going to be fatigued. And so that's going to be, to me, I know it's a game of adjustments. If they can win Game 1 and then sweep in Madison Square Garden and go up 3-1, they've got a chance.
I love that. And then maybe San Antonio, again, we don't know, but based upon the 6 games prior, looks like it'll be the Thunder. At any rate, Bruce Pearl, I can't wait to see you on Sunday. You look great. You're as tan as I am. When I saw you Wednesday night, my favorite part of Wednesday night was every time you spoke, it was hilarious. You kept saying that Sid is basically the Jewish Donald Trump. You said that about 3 times. I loved it.
I hadn't figured that out until I spent a little bit more time hearing you, a little bit of your mannerisms, but your love of this country and your passion for life. And those are the 2 things that I jumped away with saying, he's the Jewish Donald Trump. The greatest compliment I could give you.
No, I know. That's my favorite moniker ever. I've been called the King of all Jews and King David, all these great things, but the Jewish Donald Trump. Bruce Pearl, an amazing conversation. You're always great. Can't wait to see you Sunday, buddy. Thank you so much. I love you.
God bless you. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Bruce Pearl right there, the Hall of Fame college basketball coach.
Thanks for listening to Sid and Friends in the Morning. You can hear Sid and Friends in the Morning weekday mornings at 6. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?